Nikkei Alvarez.
And I'm Gabe Flores. Welcome back to another episode of Kram.
In sports news, the girls' swim team took second at the state level last week. Claire Timpson, Lael Bravold, Joanne Miller, and Lindsay Immel took first in the 200-yard medley.
Lindsay Immel took first in the 50 free finals and 100-yard freestyle. Maggie Buckley took first in the diving finals, and Lael Bravold took first in the 100-yard butterfly. There were many members of the team that placed top 3 in their state event as well. Incredible job, ladies.
We also had 7 wrestlers qualify for the state tournament last week. A huge congrats to Ben Bancroft, who took 3rd, Dalton Slaughter, who took 5th, and Chris Carr, who took 6th. It's the best state performance by our wrestlers in several years.
A huge shout out to both the girls swim and dive and the wrestling team for doing so well representing Rampart at the state level.
We have a large group here at Rampart that spends their free time playing games.
From Minecraft in the library to D&D in the tech wing, there's a large gaming community here at RHS.
To find out more about how the students enjoy these games, Kram went in depth.
Did you know that Rampart fosters a large gaming community? From the Minecraft gamers to the Dungeons & Dragons Club, gamers are finding new hubs and homes for their creativity to flourish.
The gaming community here as a whole at Rampart is kind of enthusiastic to the point where they're making gaming their own, whether it's Dungeons & Dragons or some other form of role-playing.
We talked to a representative of the gaming community and talked about the benefits of gaming and how it inspires personal growth.
Gaming has done a lot. It has not only taught me about standards skills, but also moral dilemma skills. Things like when I've seen a player where they would feel behind or feel like they don't understand a mechanic within the game, and I'd be there to teach them.
Mr. Brown supervises a student-organized group of Dungeons & Dragons players that play on Thursdays in room 424. We asked him what he thinks of the gaming community as a whole.
They meet together to play Dungeons & Dragons as well as other role-playing games. I think from what I can tell, they're all having a great time. They enjoy themselves. It's a good time to be social with your friends here, to hang out. There is a decent amount of kids who love to do this kind of a thing, and they get together here, and it's a great time for everyone.
We know that gaming is a popular pastime for many people, and it not only helps them with creativity, but also helps them balance their life. So stay gaming. This is Stephen Astor with Kram, signing off.
The gaming community is active at our school and welcomes anyone that wants to get involved.
The World Cafe is a time for students to learn about different cultures.
We went to interview different teachers and students hosting the event to find out more.
The World Cafe is an event deeply loved in the Rampart community. From the plentiful food and the rich cultures represented, the World Cafe brings together all the unique aspects of Rampart High School and its community.
Well, the World Cafe is like a fun event, like different cultures, and you get to participate. Like sometimes they have like swing club, which is a good event to get into the culture, dance with your friends, or go to the restaurants for both the French and the Spanish restaurants.
My favorite thing, now that's a hard question. I would have to say the food is a very good thing about French culture. It's something everyone recognizes, so that's easily something why you should come to the French area, French booth. But other than that, I like the art in French culture.
Past participants shed some light on what goes on during the event.
My experience last year was very, very good. And it was actually a lot of people, and I had a lot of fun doing it. It was extremely fun. You guys should do it as well.
And where they will be to enrich attendees in the culture they represent.
I will be volunteering at the Spanish-speaking restaurant, and I'll also be going around to all the different stations and having fun.
The World Cafe will be held on February 28th from 3 to 4:30 p.m. Ask Mrs. Gutierrez for more information. Hope to see you there, Rams. This has been Sydney Campney, signing off.
I think I want to try some of that food.
Right? Good thing it's tomorrow in the World Language Hall from 3 to 4:30. Costs us $3.
Anyways, a new bill amendment is in the process of becoming a law for student journalists' freedom of speech and student publications.
This law will allow student journalists, like the ones at Kram and Yearbook, to cover different topics without the potential censorship.
In the education of new laws, Kram has a look into a specific amendment called HB 201062. This law talks about the student press regulations and has many effects to Kram.
House Bill 201062 is the Student Freedom Expression Bill this year. It is the amendment to the current student expression laws in Colorado.
And it's a bill that is designed to modernize the student free expression bill that we've had in Colorado since 1990. We were the fourth state to have an explicit state law that gave student journalists the right to free expression. What we added, which was new and something that fell through the cracks before, was something we would call advisor protections.
We're trying to close the loophole so advisors are protected when they're defending students' rights to free speech, so that school policies can't be written to restrict the advisor as opposed to the students, because that's what has been happening in certain cases across the state. Is we're trying to close that loophole and protect the advisors when they're protecting you.
Looking at this law, we see the true goal.
The importance then is we're putting in a subsection of the bill that protects advisors explicitly, but it also protects students. Because if students know that their advisor can be simply removed from his or her job because they did their job, well, students will protect the advisor.
Like I said, we're trying to create young, independent thinkers, and we need to create a world in which you guys feel safe, especially in student journalism, to express yourselves and to pursue stories that cover our student body equally and fairly, and give a viewpoint from anyone and everyone in the building.
We also look at how journalism is affected. A significant impact on the education of film has more people open on what they can do without a significant effect on the teacher.
It's good for us to have done that kind of thinking and research. It turned out, though, that most representatives were really quite open to the idea, and most of them, I actually had at least 2 or 3 come to me afterwards and say, "Thanks so much for bringing this to our attention. We had no idea that this was happening, that there were advisors who were being harassed for simply supporting their students in their legal speech."
The House committee passed it unanimously, which was very cool. It went into the House and was read 3 times, and no one disagreed with the language, which means it wasn't ever sent back. It was actually passed 59-0 in the House, unanimously in the whole House. And we picked up, in addition to our original sponsor, we have 36 co-sponsors of other representatives on both sides of Republican and Democratic parties, bipartisan support, that signed on to co-sponsor this bill.
The access of topics was limited before this law, and if broken, teachers could lose their positions. With this in place, students and teachers will have more freedom in their assignments.
Well, I will add this thought, that Mr. Mooring, his testimony during the Education Committee hearing in the House was absolutely essential to helping the committee understand just how important this is to the advisors, not to mention the students. He was emotional, and he can be emotional, but he was also very clear and very firm about his position. I believe that he is part of a movement, if you will, of young advisors who are going to change the face of Colorado student journalism. It's going to become even stronger than it is now.
This is something that I've been a part of for several years. I'm on the executive board at the Colorado Student Media Association. I'm the digital media coordinator. And this is something that's important to me. I think there's nothing greater or more unifying in a community than a community that works together and is well informed together. And I think student journalism is the heart of that. And I want to be able to teach you guys that and you guys to feel that you can go forward with that.
Mr. Mooring will be testifying this Thursday for Student Press Law. Good luck, Mr. Mooring. This has been Bethany Claudia reporting for Kram.
If the new law passes the Senate, it will go into effect August 1st of this year.
Last week, there was a winter band concert.
It was moved around a bit, but the musicians still played.
We interviewed some of the students and teachers to learn more about how important this concert was.
Due to the many snow days, the winter concert was postponed, but it was still able to happen last week. We caught up with the musicians of the Wind Ensemble, Symphonic Band, and Concert Band to see how it went.
For our winter concert, we had the Wind Ensemble symphonic band and concert bands playing?
So usually all the bands are playing pieces a mix of pieces that we've prepared since the beginning of the school year and some new ones that we got depending on their difficulty. Winter percussion is basically a percussion ensemble, so it's like strictly just percussion instruments, and we come together just to perform a show kind of like marching band does, but it's just percussion.
We wanted to see how well they thought they'd play.
I think our concert went really well for wind ensemble. We were able to get through the pieces without too many mistakes.
I would say we did pretty well. I feel like we were a little unprepared, but like it was fun.
They let us know how much they enjoyed the concert.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I assume that the other bands did too. It was a really fun experience.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Mr. Kuncius let us know how you can get involved in the band.
I think playing music and being part of a huge group of kids is the biggest two reasons to be a part of one of our ensembles. So we have 3 concert bands, and those are your traditional kind of band instruments. And then we have 2 jazz bands and a orchestra.
Great job at your concert, Rams. This is Owen Reeves reporting for Kram.
We have a game show style section today called How Much Teachers Really Know.
We asked different teachers about how much they know about their own subjects.
Give me a second. Cut. Ooh, is that 1896? No. No, not that one. Nope, not that one. I don't know. Again, of course. We got JFK. 5? 4. I said 4. Ah!
The Krebs cycle is the photosynthesis cycle for the production of glucose. DNA is dictated by the hydrogen-hydrogen bonds between the nitrogen bases, A and T, C and G. No idea.
Can you spell it? It's a verb that has ing at the end that's used as an adjective.
Can sing the quadratic formula. It goes x equals negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So this is going to be, so we end up with, let's see, 11, which is either going to be I, negative I, 1 or negative 1. I think I'd have to write that down.
Wow, that was interesting.
Anyway, this has been Gabe Flores
and Enrique Alvarez. Thank you for tuning in.
Dragons in the tech wing.
Just didn't cut it.
Like band concert.
It was moved around a bit,
Nope,
but
I said it wrong.
thank you for turning in. Yeah, so what should I say?
Tuning. I said turning. I typed turning.
Okay, well, why did it autocorrect to turning?
It didn't.
When I type tuning into my phone, it doesn't autocorrect to turning. Dalton?
Griffin.
Why?
What are you doing?